Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the Monday Night Zoom, and Bitcoin had a big pump over the weekend, broke through 48K this morning, but it's been dropping since then. Let's go to the chart. Okay, you should be seeing my Bitcoin. It's a 5-minute chart.
Yes.
We're almost in a 1, 2, 3 dip on Bitcoin. We'll get back to that in a moment. It's rare that we get a chance to actually make trades on this show. Usually we have to set alerts and wait for better entries, but we've had several days in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight candles. We're not counting today yet, obviously. 2 closes above this, the top of the range that I've been talking about for several weeks. So together we will delete the range because it is invalidated. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see here, we're getting higher lows. So what's probably going to happen, I mean, we had lows that held around 35, 36 in February and March. So what I like to see happen is when we do have a retrace, and we always do, maybe those lows will be in the 40s instead of the 30s, and eventually that will work its way up. So I didn't draw any lines or anything like that. The steep climb is kind of made that pointless, but anyway, I like what I see. A bit of a retrace is this afternoon and this evening. Let's go to the hour chart. Yeah, we've dropped a little bit here, since about noon. Bitcoin dropped about 2.5%, reclaimed a little bit of it. On the 5-minute chart, let's see, let's look at this version. We've got kind of a double bubble. So those of you who've seen the 1, 2, 3 dip training, should be most of you guys on this. We talked about it many times. Got your squeeze here, and that's bubbling out. Comes back in a little bit here because the squeeze goes up, and then we start to drop, and then the bubble comes out again because we have increased volume on the sell side. And we've got your 1, 2, 3, and trending back up. So that's not a bad entry right here. We've got the MFI and the RSI pointing up. MACD's about to cross. So I kind of like this as an entry if you like to trade Bitcoin. I think we'll see this setup or something similar with some of the other coins we're going to look at. With that in mind, let's go ahead and look at Ethereum. This is the day chart. And again, just shooting straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 1 red day here. So about 7 out of 8 green days. Crashed through 3,000, held that pretty well. So Ethereum looking good on the day chart. On the hour, yeah, dipping a little bit, kind of following Bitcoin since about noon. Down 3.3%, back up a little bit. On the 5-minute, kind of squeezy look in here. So I don't really consider this a good dip sequence. 3% between the Bollinger Bands, not great. So this could be one of those that just kind of crawls along the bottom for a while. Yeah, I think that we can probably get better options than this. So any questions or comments on Bitcoin and Ethereum? All righty. Let's go to Altcoin Alert. Let's see if we can find some trades based on that information. Okay. I'm on the Altcoin Alert, the radar page, easy mode off. This way I have all the information. That's what I like to see. And the first sort I do is by the AA score. I like to see 85 or better. I don't have any like that. 80 and above considered very bullish. Take a quick look here, see who's on today. One of the reasons I do this is to see how much I need to delve into some of the new stuff, or if I can bypass that and just go, go faster and not do about a lot of repeats, repetition, review, that kind of thing. So at this point, you guys who are on here pretty much know how I like to use Altcoin Alert and what the columns and indicators mean. AA score. We'll do a quick review. We've got one newish person here. So based on this information, NKN has a 78.7 chance of going up 3% or more in the next 48 to 72 hours. And we look at this AA score, we pretty much ignore the other stuff.
You no longer have your AA chart up.
Really?
You're sharing your face.
Whoa. Thanks for letting me know that. I stopped the share. I didn't even know I did that.
Not that we don't enjoy looking at your face.
Oh, well, gee, shucks. Okay, how about now?
Yep, there we go.
That's weird. Okay. But thanks for the heads up. Okay, NKN 78.7 AA score. I was looking at this earlier. I like to do 3 views, day chart, 1 hour and 5 minute. Most of the coins look like this, big pumps and somewhere between September and November, big crash since then and starting to come back. So yeah, some pretty good movement in on the hour chart in the last couple days. Up 50% in a week, pretty good, but dipping pretty hard since then. 5-minute chart. All right, so we've got, turn off divergence too. Just look at candle action here. 1, 2, 3, and coming back. Hard cross up on both the MFI and the RSI. MACD about to cross. It's a pretty good entry here if you guys want to do this one. Up to the SMA line, it's 3%. There's some resistance here at about 3.7. And then getting back to where it was earlier today, some more resistance here at about 5.6. So looks pretty good to me. If I were a spot trader, I'd be all over this. So not financial advice. Actually, I'm not sure if NKN is true. I trade mostly on leverage. So I'm going to take a quick look. I'm not sure if NKN is on Bybit or not. It is not. All right. So any questions on NKN?
Nope.
All right. So Mana is another coin I like to trade. I know this one is on leverage. So I could trade this 76.5 bullish, not great, not bad. Let's check it out. Day chart. Down 50, down 60, up a little bit, up 50-ish, up to 55, up to a 55% loss. And a big move. Yeah, these are repeating themselves. Most of these are just followed Bitcoin with the big move the last couple of days, but have been dipping since noon. 5-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some traders don't count the first dip. I do if it's big. Something like this is like big. Or you could just count this one as your one because that's a dip as well. So regardless, we got about 4 dips here and strong action coming up. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, Bitcoin dropped below 47,000 briefly and it's charged up a few $100s since then. Yeah, see, just before we started, about 20 minutes ago, drop down here, and then pretty big move up. So it looks like a lot of the coins are going to follow that. So I think Mana is good to go now. So I'm just kind of goofing off over here on the side. Don't pay attention to me. It's not very often I make a trade while we're on here. I'm not going to show it to you guys because I don't want you to see how horrific some of the other trades I have going is. But anyway, all right, we'll do that and that. Okay, we'll see if I get in. All right, so that's Mana. Any questions on that one? Okay, I saw something on the chat. Mark's saying he wants to watch me trade it. So anyway, now we're all on different exchanges, so I'm not sure there's a lot of value in showing actual trades, but you know, on the information we have so far, this looks pretty good. Don't go in too much in case you need a ladder buy. But I think we're going to see some 1, 2, 3 dip setups on the show tonight. So, all right, so that's Mana. And let's do a long-term sentiment sort. This is the other sort I like to do. Looking for bullish or very bullish on the long-term sentiment, which is the Twitter data, the word on the street. And we combine that with the Elder Impulse, which is technical analysis, similar to the MACD, exponential moving average, or the EMA. So when these are in alignment, that's worth another look. So we've got that with several. Several are very bullish and bullish. 1 inch I looked at today, Uni, Link is also bullish on short-term sentiment. So I think that's worth a look. Let's go to Link. All right, on the 5 minutes, a similar setup than what we saw in Mana. And then it's got, one of the reasons I look at the day chart is to see if there's a move for a retrace, and it's a good habit to get into. But as a practical matter, pretty much everything is down, between 50 and 80% since November. So there's plenty of room to go back in the long term. If you're a spot trader on the short term, the hour is a little bit better indicator for your trading range. Its Blink has been up just almost 20% last week, but dipping since noon like the others we've looked at. 5 minute one. If the candles go back and hit the SMA line, that invalidates the structure. So it didn't quite make it, so we're still good. 1, 2, 3, actually 4 dips and a pretty strong pump above the bottom Bollinger Band, confirmed by the MFI and the RSI. The MACD is crossed. So this would be another good entry on Link on a 1, 2, 3 dip. So any questions on Link? Alrighty then. Let's look at one more on the long-term sentiment. Let's look at Filecoin. Another thing I like to look at is to see where they've gone last 24 hours. If I get very bullish and it's up 80%, then I'm probably not. I'm going to assume that's probably played out. But if it's in single digits or down a little bit, like this one, I'm not going to do Gnosis or Gnosis, whatever it is. It's up 13% already. But Filecoin's only up 5%, so it could be trending. And let's check it out. Okay, on a day chart, yeah, big pump here, lost most of it, coming back now on the 1 hour. Yeah, big move here last day or so, 45%, and then dropping since noon. So we don't have really a 1, 2, 3 dip scenario here because it pumped so high. This afternoon, it pretty much ignored the Bitcoin dump or drop, and for a couple hours at least, and then it started working its way down. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this. I would probably want it to see it dip below the RSI or the MFI on the bottom on the oversold and come back. So that would be one thing to do. We haven't talked about divergence yet. And I usually do indicator alerts on the 15-minute chart or higher, sometimes 30 if I want to be super sure. I've even gone up to an hour in some circumstances, but on the 15-minute chart, we can do bullish divergence. Once per bar close, make sure you get that bar close on this alert, not just only once, or it could repaint on you. We don't want that. You can call it what you want. When positive divergence is detected, the alert goes off, look at the other indicators, look at the candle action, essentially reevaluate. So that's one of the alerts I like to use on indicators. And the other two, I sometimes look at which ones are the most accurate for the last day or two and put an alert on that one between the MFI and the RSI. So they're running pretty close together, as they often do. So I'm not seeing a significant difference. With that in mind, I probably go with the RSI. Now I want this to be crossing up on the 30. The 30 value is considered oversold. So I want to be going down and then coming back up. Once per bar close, RSI alert, you're good to go there. You do the same thing on the MFI on the 20 value if you like that one better. So those are the indicator alerts I like to do. Any questions on Filecoin? All right, well, let's say you're a real brave soul. You want to short something in this this market. I know some of you guys trade leverage. Let's see if we can use Altcoin Alert to find a short. So we just do the opposite. You can do an AA score that's bearish. The coin has to be something that's on a leveraged exchange. I think ZRX might be. Let's see if we can do better. You can also do the long-term sentiment sort and look for crap. Look for bearish, bearish, and bearish band. I know it's on Bybit, Binance, and some of the others. Quantum is on Bybit and FEMEX. I think it's on FEMEX. I don't know about ORN, Mana. So you'll see this sometimes. Mana, I just traded as a long on a 1, 2, 3 dip, but this is showing the trend being down because it's recovering. So let's go. Let's look at band. See if we can find a short on band. So it is trending down on the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the day chart. It's already beaten down pretty much, but it could return to this area here to 3.3. It has gone up 40% in the last couple of weeks. On the 1 hour. Yeah, it's got that hook pattern we saw similar to the Filecoin. Well, actually that was on the 5-minute. Okay, on the 5-minute here, it's in a dip sequence and starting to trend back up. So I don't like this as an entry. I tend to do my shorts more off the indicator alerts, almost entirely actually. So I go to my 15-minute, I'd look for bearish divergence. Negative tested once per bar. And then you can do, like you see how this went up on the MFI and the RSI as well, then came back down, crossed this line. You could have gotten quick, couple percent there, but kind of risky. It did bounce back up again, but then came back down. So this would have been kind of a wild ride. So these aren't real good examples because they came down briefly and then shot up again, but that happens. You could have bought that when it came down here. It goes against you. Maybe do a ladder buy here at the 5% area. It only went up, yeah, maybe here at 5%, and then you would have got a really good recovery on the way down. So anyway, we went over bearish divergence. If you use this MFI, you're going to go crossing down 80. Once per bar close or once per bar, and then it's your bearish alert. And you do the same thing on the RSI, just use the 70 as a value. And all right, that's all I have for Altcoin Alert. Any questions on the band short we just went over, or any of the indicators I talked about, or Altcoin Alert in general?
Yes, CJ, I want to ask you a question about setting an alert on, is it the video?
Yeah.
That changes color. Can you set an alert on that when it changes color?
Yeah, I've tinkered with that. I haven't done it enough to talk about it here, but since you brought it up, so what Craig's talking about is this line right here. A lot of traders use an EMA or exponential moving average, 50, 200, 100, whatever, to determine which direction they want to trade, either long or short. This is for, for leverage trading, obviously. But if you're spot trading, you're going to want to be trading when the blue line is. If you're spot trend trading, and the blue line is, well, when the line's blue, that's the bullish indicator. When it's red, that's the bearish. So it's a little more specific, a little more precise than the EMAs are. And then you can, for the one I've downloaded, you can add alert on the video, and it'll change it'll just tell you when it changes color.
Right. Okay. So you just go with the alarm color.
Yeah.
Alarm. Okay.
There might be other versions of the video that are more specific than that.
That's what I was wondering. I just didn't understand quite how to set it, but if that means color change, then you just set it on that.
Yeah, and that's helpful. But you might want a specific color. So there are a few other videos here. I just haven't looked at them yet. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of them had, changed to red or changed to blue or whatever. So, all right, good question. Any others? Very well, then we will go to iCoinPro, see if we can find something over there. Okay, iCoinPro is, for those of you who've seen the 1, 2, 3 dip training, that's theirs. They're a very conservative day trading platform, focuses on building micro profits and stacking them up. They would be horrified to know that I'm trading leverage now. So some of you guys who've been with me a while have heard me say that a few times, but I do use this tool to find both spot trades and leverage trades. But and there's two areas I like the most. We'll get back to the Buddy coin crawler. The RSI Spy is the one I go to the most. And this will tell me what coins are below the 30 value, the oversold that we were talking about earlier. So that's valuable information. because when they're beaten down like this, they're usually due for a recovery. You can see we got a bunch of them since we've had this dip on Bitcoin's drug down some of these coins. Unfortunately, we can't sort it to get rid of Bitcoin pairs, which I don't like to trade. And we want to look for volume 10 million or higher. These are all Binance tokens. You may want to change it to Coinbase Pro or whatever you're trading on, Binance US. But I just leave it on Binance. And we've got Alpine here that's oversold on the 1 hour. Haven't traded that maybe once or twice. We have Zcash here. Yeah, I was actually looking at this earlier. I think this one's a better example. So let's check it out. I actually have the chart here, but you can click this and click here on TradingView and it'll take you to the chart. But since I have it open already, let's take a quick look. Day chart. Big pump in November, lost most of it. It's come back, it's probably gained about over half of it. On the 1 hour. Had a pretty nice move, but dropping since yesterday. This didn't really respond to the late Bitcoin surge. Yeah, down 7.5%. A 5 minute. Sometimes I have an EMA on this and sometimes it messes things up on my charts. So, all right, we've got a squeeze, a little bit of bubble, then a bigger bubble. And we got too much clutter here to see. So we've got a 1 dip, 2 dips, not really a third. This one's a little confusing because one could argue this is the bubble and it did not invalidate because it didn't hit the SMA line. So with that frame, we got 1, we'll put these together as 1 dip, 2, 3, like a 4th dip, and pretty strong action coming back. All the indicators are in alignment. So this would have been better, maybe right about here, at 193. Now that we have some red candles forming, I would probably wait for a couple green ones. This is later than I want to get in. I want to get in around the bottom of the Bollinger Band, maybe slightly below or slightly above. This is a little later than I like to get in. So with that in mind, I might put an alert on the bottom Bollinger Band, see if it'll dip again. Or you can do a price alert right here around 191. Just add an alert there. And the Bollinger Band. Actually, the best way to do this on a Bollinger Band is to choose the coin, which direction you want it to cross. You want it to cross up. And the value, you go to Bollinger Band, and it'll ask you upper or lower. So I want this to cross up on the lower Bollinger Band. And you can do that on only once or once per bar. Once per bar close, you might miss some action. I mean, we're on a 5-minute chart as it is, so I'd probably go with either only once or once per bar on your alert here. And you're off. So just had a green candle form, starting to move up a little bit. Bitcoin's trending up a little bit. So if you want to just catch the trend and just look at your price action, you could get in here, a little bit of resistance here around 199.9. It's a sort of a psychological area before $200, but we do have some resistance here at 201 to 3%. Then up here, earlier in the morning, we were up to 205. That would be over 5%. All these are pretty good day trades, especially the 5%. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad entry to get in now, but maybe go in small in case it drops again so you can ladder buy. Any questions on Zcash? All right, let's look at maybe one more on the RSI Spy. not. So mostly, well, we can look at this Alpine. Not my computer's getting slow. Okay, day chart's not very useful, but it's only been on Binance a little while. Trending down. We had the crazy high at first. I don't even count those, but that's pretty good highs here, about 1150. But all the way down to 760 since then. On the hour, had a nice move a few days ago, trending down pretty hard since then. And these are some of my least favorite dip sequences. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe an 8th dip. You know, it dips over 4. You got to wonder, is it free falling or not? So I'm not real comfortable with this one on a dip sequence until, if I wanted to trade it, I'd probably go to the 15-minute chart and do those alerts I showed you before with the, crossing up on the MFI on the 20 or crossing up on the RSI and the 30 or both. Maybe do divergence on this. You do have bullish divergence on one indicator, the stochastic RSI. Not really validated though. Not sure why that went off. Yeah, don't like it. Any questions on Alpine? All right, let's look at iCoinPro's Buddy Coin Crawler. And in iCoinPro, they talk about, we can also look at the fear and greed index, 60. Yeah, I've been putting this in some of my email announcements to you guys. We're greedy now, so not real greedy when it's like in the 70s and 80s. That's usually when we get the big crashes. We're just a little bit greedy right now. Okay, the Buddy Coin Crawler. On iCoinPro, the suggestion from Justin, the co-creator, is to pick 3 or 4. Do your analysis in the morning when you get up, to pick 3 or 4 coins and track those. And those are your buddy coins for the day. So hence the name Buddy Coin Crawler. And I'm sorting by this column here, the average 24-hour low to the SMA line. I'm looking for 5% or higher. If you can get double digits, those are coins that are really moving that day. But these will tell you the coins that are moving pretty well. And I would pick ZIL, but we're gonna talk about this in my next Zoom, so I'm not gonna do it now. Let's look at ARPA. We got this one here. Let's open it up. ARPA, pretty big drop on the 15. Yeah, this one went crazy back in November, but it lost most of its value. Again, I keep saying that most of them look like this. On the hour, had a pretty big move on the 24th, gave most of that away, gained some of it back, and a pretty big drop. Since 9 a.m., down 14%, up a little bit since then. This is a better looking dip sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, actually a 5th dip, and then some pretty strong candle action going up, but kind of going sideways and dipping down a little bit now. So this one's kind of iffy. I'm not sure if I'd want to get in now or wait for another dip below. Kind of on the fence on this one. But if you if you like it, want to get in, you might want to do an alert on the Bollinger Band crossing up. You go your 15-minute. The RSI is about to poke up here. So, you know, if that does happen, that might be a good a signal to get in. Maybe make sure both the MFI and the RSI are both pushing above the low areas here, the 30 on the RSI, 20 on the MFI, and then reevaluate. So, okay, any questions on ARPA? Well, that's about all I have for Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro. Are there any coins you guys want to look at, or any specific issues to go over in trading, day trading, anything like that? Oh, we've had some other new people show up. Got Sandy V, we got Tim, we got Kay, Mark I talked about, mentioned earlier, Eric, John. All right.
CJ,
Yes, sir.
I took that trade in Mana as we were talking about it,
Okay.
and it's up 8% at the moment.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm up a little bit too. So 1, 2, 3 dip. It's a classic. It just doesn't happen as much as I would like, but okay. Thanks for that, Craig. Any other questions, comments? It's fun to have 1, 2, 3 dips right on the show. So, all right. Then I will stop the recording here for this portion of the Zoom. For those of you in Carbon, hang around. We'll start that in a couple minutes. For those of you watching on the video, I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll see you live on Monday or Friday.